This is your weekend market review for Sunday, March 10th, 2024. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your weekend market review for Sunday, March 10th, 2024. Hopefully you had a great week. Sorry, was not around, was out of town for eXp One Big Fire conference for eXp Realty. Great time. As most of you guys know, I was out of town, and yeah, this is the first video since, and pretty interesting action over the last week. Is anyone surprised? No. It's, again, the action, as we said, be careful. It's not healthy. Roll up your stops. Be thoughtful. Be safe. So many things going on out there that I think a lot of people, again, they get caught up in the action and they think it's sustainable and it's healthy, and you just never know. Gets rather interesting. And again, I would can't wait to show you guys some of the things on the charts that say 10 cuidado. Again, especially with some of the semi names and some of the other things going on. But we'll dig into it. So, new to the channel, check out the Discord room, links in the description below. If you have any questions about real estate, have any needs, buy, sell, looking to invest, need help finding an agent, no matter where you're at in the country, we got you. Check out the Trading Agent website. Tons of great resources, the recommended readings, schedule your chats, all sorts of things. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out all these back to basics education videos. They're Chrome. Follow on Twitter. Always posting what we're up to. Again, get the Calendly link. It's in the description below. So let's get into it. No Fed pivot coming. We've talked about this. But as we get closer, I'm not going to be surprised when more people start screaming about it based on the action. Bitcoin, want to refresh it because this thing moves rapid. Back at the highs. Surprised? We talked about there's going to be some chop up here, and you got like 1 day of it. But look at this big distro candle. Now I see BlackRock's Larry Fink coming on TV talking about buying Bitcoin. Again, long term, I'm not going to speculate one way or another. I know near term, this action seems very distributive in my opinion with the high volumes at the highs. You have all these big banks, big institutions telling people to buy. Remember when they were real quiet down here and they were telling people Bitcoin was trash? Bitcoin was nothing, wasn't worth buying. Yeah, we'll see. Oil, as we talked about. Oh man, it's not updating my stuff. Give me 2 seconds. I like oil. We've talked about it. I don't see much of a downside. We've talked about that. But again, demand destruction, we're up against levels. I'd be watching the 50s and 60s. Nat gas, as we've talked about, love nat gas. We talked about it as being a bounce trade. Apologize, didn't update the refresh. Do I see it coming back down? Yeah. I don't know for sure if it's going to be able to lift off. So if you shorted KLD, you know what's going on. If you're looking at UNG as an up play, just be quick. Be careful. Ten cuidado. All right, dollar. Not surprised. Started peeling back. The economic data last week was, just dog croup. Now we're back testing an old trend line here, add some support. See what happens the next couple days. I would keep an eye on it. TLT. We talked about bonds getting over 94, hitting up against this trend line now. Your guess is as good as mine near term. We know bonds typically get bought if the market gets soft. With the budget deficits, is it possible something different happens? That's the big question. The VIX, we talked about last week, hitting channel lows. Nice little rally back up. Again, interesting week. Not surprised. Vixen, we talked about waking up. VIX would wake up. All channel range, lows, whatever you want to call it. There you go. SPY, let's dig into it. Look at this, big ranges. Riding the channel highs we talked about. Watch it, until the 20-day break. Again, a lot of people will be like, you've been bearish. Again, pick and choose your names, as we talked about. If you've been bullish, you got to raise up your stops. But as we said multiple times, you got to be careful. That's all. And now you're starting to get above average volume, riding the channel riding the lightning. Okay, we'll see. QQQ, same kind of thing. But look at this. Makes a new high, double top, outside reversal bar, closes the gap. I am curious on large volume. I think this could be it for the Qs. IWM trying to go. And look at this candle on Friday. A lot of mixed signals. A lot of people I think got caught chasing the Friday action. D has been kind of sideways, and that's what's a little dangerous. Gold, again, never been a bear. Now we talk about breaking out. Okay. Can you go long it? Go right ahead. Again, I think the easiest trade will be for the miners, when the Feds pivot. Because again, if you watch the miners, they did pop up. But they still are lagging. Not surprised though. But I do suspect at some point the breakout will be tested. And if it's not, that's okay. Again, people say like, well, what do you think about gold? I'm like, I've been long gold and silver, like physical. It's just hard to trade at times. We talked about here holding 100-day. Nice run. Near term, be careful. Because again, I think that you got CPI data next on Tuesday. That's what I'd be watching. Silver, again, not really confirming any of this. It's just big, nasty, sloppy channel. We talked about GDXJ due for a bounce. Some of the bros and I guess you can't say, the other one, but bros and friends in the, this where we're talking about double bottom. We said, yeah, not surprised. A good bounce. I mean, look at this stuff. I mean, it's been lagging so hard. So if it does, again, I think this is the thing. It's always the first bottom, the retest, the chop, whatever. Nice moves, but I think at some point, again, you have to understand the big spikes. As we talked about, the market has potential to get absolutely crapped on. And unfortunately, miners are stuck in that boat where they could get literally swallowed whole just by everything. AEM chopping around, AG looking all right. I mean, again, we talked about these ranges. Okay. There's just been big choppy, sloppy messes. We talked about Newmont riding the channel lows. It was due to bounce. Yeah. I don't know. These are tough. I mean, not meaning like, again, you do what you got to do. Roll up your stops, define your risk. Do I trust them? No, I really trust them when the Feds pivot. And when the Feds pivot, meaning like the liquidity comes piling in, not the liquidity going out and the Feds just letting it kind of, that's not so hot. All right. Tech, which is where everybody's getting interested. I mean, look at Taiwan Semi. This is just a joke. Look at these candles. Monster outside reversal bars. Going back after the highs. Now, again, it's like one of those things. If you shorted stuff, this is where we talk about. No matter if you're going long at the lows, short at the highs, define your risk. Do not sit here and just go, I can't do that. Okay. Micron. I mean, look at some of these semi names, right? Not really Micron, but here you go. Like gapping up. This thing's been just a turdler. Breaking out. We'll see. AMD, hot. Look at this. Look at these bars. I mean, if these aren't the tops, I will be impressed because these are big action. I mean, this is like the unlimited, like Livermore liquidity to unload into, right? Look at NVIDIA. Check this out, right? Look at this. Big bars. Big bars. And then engulfing down. SMCI, right? We talking about like that was at least a near-term top. Then you make a new high. Now, I've said this, and I said in previous videos, this is a smaller market cap. This is like, this is micro compared to good old NVIDIA. And we said I wouldn't be surprised it made new highs. Near term. Yeah, you got to watch that 1080. That's a tough one. I don't know. Intel, we talked about being a dog lagging. Look at that. SMH, I mean, check the volumes, y'all. Those are not healthy. I mean, like if you're bullish, like that should be like a red flag and like you need to be looking for the exits in my opinion. But this is the thing. I mean, do we know for sure? I don't know. I usually don't check out the Soxus, but look at the volume. Look at that bugger on Friday. Right? NVDS. Like somebody knows something. Somebody. This isn't retail. Just warning, folks. Adobe got earnings on Thursday. Chopping around. I mean, this thing has been kind of dogging it. Apple. We talked about this one. Lagging, showing. I mean, this is where it makes the market. It's so hard, right? It's like bifurcated. Look at this action. Like, and then it holds again. Remember, near term. Nothing goes down a straight line. Bounces back. Get a multi-4-day range. Now you got to watch. You break 160s. Looking worse. Amazon riding the channel highs. Okay. Looks all right. We'll see. Breaks the 20-day. Meta. This one, again, I'm not surprised this made new highs, but the volume after post earnings. There's talk of that, again, banning TikTok. We'll see. CRM, pop up on earnings. Chopping around. Google, as we talked about, like people are trying to be heroes on this one. Buying the channel lows, breaks down, rallies back. Sloppy action. Microsoft, again, hasn't been really following, right? We talked about the 415 level. NDAQ, okay, little rally. Not surprised. Definitely some volumes. I'd be watching this reference up here at 61. MicroStrategy. This one has been, I mean, it's not really rocket science, but What have we talked about? Like high volume at the high, be careful. The doji, this is the thing, right? This is where you go with. That's gap up, and I apologize that I didn't do live chat those days, but those gap ups you go with. Here's another gap up. Okay, we'll see. I mean, the old highs are what? 17s, if I remember right. Oh no, you're over them. Okay. Well, let's see if it follows through. You got some like old weird trend lines and crap. I don't know. I really trust those, but it's worth keeping an eye on. That's for sure. Absolutely. Keep an eye on it. Yeah. And I tell people this all the time, like trade around your position. If you've got a big position on this and you're making a bunch of money, roll out your stops or roll up your stops, trade around it. Don't just, I mean, again, I don't know if it can go up forever. Netflix, chop. We talked about Roblox hitting the 47s, fail. Oops. Pan W again. Here's a Nancy Pelosi special. Look at this. Down since. Now, how low? This is where I would watch the 200-day. If you get that again, it could be a bounce spot. Tesla dogging, as we've talked about, back at the lows. I mean, this is the thing. If you go back and look at the past, I mean, if you're bullish, it's just tough. I mean, it's just tough. I mean, I tell people all the time, like, this trade is over, meaning the easy money. But if you want to trade the references, okay, yeah, I guess you could. But if you fail here, it's gone. Absolutely gone. Airbnb, we talk about holding up with the market, breaking out, light volume. Man, if you had shorts, stop them up. Costco, look at this. We talked about this one riding up, just been pretty crazy. Look at that. Ay caramba. Right, that is ugly. That's not good, y'all. Starbucks, we talked about this one dogging. I mean, global growth indicator broke the uptrend. Retro. This is why this is hard, y'all, because there's so many different things. Like it's not like the whole market's just like bonkers. It's just crap and some good names, and it's hard. FedEx, here you go, chopping around, right? Caterpillar. Talked about it making new highs if it could get over this level. All right, there you go. Just keep an eye on it. Again, I mean, it's names that you got to be careful. If you want to short highs, great. If you don't, be careful. I mean, there's just so many different things going out there. Where again, every trade has its own, as we call it a stock pickers market. Every trade will kind of do its own thing. And that's where you stick with the ones that are working and you get rid of the ones that aren't. Nucor, here you go. Breaks out, coming right back. Letter X. Chop, chop. VALE. Chop, chop. I mean, we said X has buyout targets. But I mean, look at these, just not acting well. Arrow. These names tried to break out and then just poof. CCJ. Here's another one. Like, oh, it looks good. Boom. Engulfs it all. CF, we like the ag name. CF has been actually better than, say, Mosaic and NTR based on the action. Not surprising. But again, do I really trust them? Tough to know. AA, I mean, tough to know, I mean, like, I don't know near term. Talked about these just chopping around. Again, market bounce, not surprised. XLF holding up with the market, but this is the thing. Like, is it really leading? I guess, I mean, I guess technically you could, but it's hard to kind of like trust it. Like here, look at JP Mo. Chopping up at the highs. Morgan Stanley has been lagging hard. Look at that bounce and gives it all back. Like these are just ridiculous. Bank of America chopping around. All right, we make new highs. Do you trust it? We'll see. Goldman Sachs. Again, we talk about the 395 level. Like it's insane. Like not insane, but like days and just can't get over it. KRE. We talked about this like trash floating. Here you go. Holding 100-day. Nowhere near the no doubt fake out zone. 2 days. I mean, I don't know. Again, whether you believe it's in the market bullish or not, just watch this stuff. I mean, you have to paint the pictures. Look through all of it. XBI, here you go. The breakout. Look at this holding for now. So far, I mean, if you were bullish, it makes sense. It's holding. But if it doesn't, you got to set your stop. You got to define it. Solar, we talked about being oversold, waiting for bounces. Sedge. These things are so dead money. But again, wait for them to pop. ENPH. I mean, I guess they could. Yeah. Yeah, they're just chopping around. I don't even want to overthink them. First Solar, not surprised, chopping around up here at the high. HYG, here you go. Corporate debt, you got to be crazy to buy this stuff. Oil, as we said many times, like the downside is limited. The upside to me is limited as well, unless global growth. UNG, we talked about this oversold bounce coming. I mean, it's not even worth really looking at that deeply, but it is what it is. KOLD, we talked about this was the best trade to short the multi-day range once it formed. Held here. I mean, I would be surprised to see a 147 handle. XOP, man, this thing is like trying to break out, right? Like here's the 141s, you get over it and it's just like chopping around. Filling some gaps, just be careful. ExxonMobil held the 99-100 area. Looking all right, right? Valero, gas names, we talked about these holding up pretty well. CVE, this 200, 100-day area, it's over it. I guess on the 100, but it's chopping around. You'd really want to see that go. MPC, we talked about this one riding the lightning. It's breaking out. Do you trust it? I mean, that's the question. I mean, if the market goes higher, maybe. Occidental, we've talked this one being a big, nasty chop range. Nothing. EQT, natural gas. You'd think this would rally more. I don't know. And last but not least, Flex LNG. Again, with lower natural gas prices, I really think long-term we will be long-term exporters of natural gas. So if you have any questions, again, please reach out. Always here to help. I appreciate you guys and everything that you guys did in the Discord room and posts and trying to keep people updated. Really appreciate it while I was out of town. Again, usually I don't take many vacations, but I do. When I do, I try to turn off my phone, disconnect, and it was an interesting week and going into another interesting week. So again, this action is not sustainable. It's rather dangerous in my opinion, but volatility begets volatility. So you got to be careful. All right, talk to you guys and gals later. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, your PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.